Hey guys, this package actually came one day after I installed my new LED L series Remostro, but now another alarm has arrived. Let's see what's inside this package. Okay. Now let's see what comes outside of this. It's a System Sensor Classic. Oh my goodness, and it looks like the first generation one because it has a screw in there. Wow. A System Sensor Classic. I see that paint because obviously this was used. I'm not sure if they put it on a sync system because sync systems are not that common when these were released, but they still had the option to sync them. And they can run on normal System Sensor sync, I hope. So, nothing else in the package, just that one System Sensor device? Good. I think you can fit in a normal sized screwdriver in there actually. I used to think those holes were much smaller, but this is a much bigger hole. So, let's unscrew this Classic off of the base. Before we unscrew the device, I noticed that they cut the wires that this was wired to. So I think they put these on 2-hour operation, maybe because they finally had the stuff to synchronize these. Dang, whoever tightened these terminals was kind of strong. But anyways, if you want to convert these to 4-hour operation, these little jumpers have to come off. And I see this random plastic piece breaking. I'm guessing it came from here. Because the build quality on the Classics are not as good as the Spectre Advanced. But they survived. They've been serving the fire alarm systems for a very long time. If I were to mount this, it would be easy still. But I sense more broken plastic in there, so before I powered it on, I'll just see that. Finally found a better screwdriver. But that won't do anything either. This time, I think I really found a screwdriver. I just have to untighten it very tightly. Okay, it's actually unscrewing. You can unscrew it with little to no effort. The only effort you need to make is finding the screwdriver. And there's a little more paint, but I'm gonna try to clean it out if I can. But they tell you not to paint fire alarm devices because they might be hard to remove. So let's see what's here. Yeah, that's the model number stuff. I'll try clean off all the oxidation so that it'll look much cleaner, because when I took out the part that was in the mounting bracket, it was actually more red. So that's kind of a very different mix of red and dark red. But anyways, let's see the model number. And it is the P241575. And operating voltage is 20 to 30 volts. So if we were to put this on the 33 volt a firelight system, it's not gonna be good for the alarm. So yeah. Signal strength 15 candela. So this is set to 1575 candela, but I'm not sure if it's going to reflect 75 candela off the sides, because I think this is like a first generation Classic again. This thing has jumpers. I'm always gonna keep the jumpers on this thing. I'm never taking them out. I'm only gonna take them out if I need to change the tone. But I'm not taking them out of the alarm. I'm keeping them there. So I'm gonna adjust the thing. I'm gonna adjust the tones. And I'll be right back with the alarm setup. Wanna know something interesting I noticed? There's a symbol that tells you how not to put the jumpers right there. So that's interesting. And that's actually they actually did a good job with that, because you don't want this alarm to operate incorrectly, because you don't want to connect two separate parts to each other. that might fry the alarm or the tone chip. So they actually put a whole symbol on how not to put the jumpers. So yeah. Alright guys, we're gonna see if it works. First I'm plugging it. Alright. 3, 2, and 1. That's kind of loud. For low volume. Alright guys, so one thing I noticed, this one doesn't go straight to code 3. This one does the one beep before code 3, so that's interesting. Well, it's a first generation Spectre Classic. Alright guys, I set it to continuous. It's gonna be kind of loud. Surprisingly, I thought classics were very quiet, but they're only going to be quiet if you don't give them full 24 volts. So that's interesting. Alright guys, I set it to 3000 Hertz temporal low volume. 3, 2, and 1. Oh my god, 3000 Hertz is so loud. Wait, let me see if I set that to high volume. I understand why it's kind of loud, because it uses older piezo technology. It doesn't use those advanced piezos that the Spectre Advanced or the L series use, but it still could run on system sensor sync. So yeah, now I set it to continuous on 3000 Hertz. It's set to low volume, but it's still going to be loud because it's 3000 Hertz. It hurts. So yeah, 3, 2, and 1. God, my ears. But anyways, I think it's best to set this to electromechanical if you have no hearing protection, because I literally hear the feedback in my ears. I'm gonna set that to electromechanical. It wasn't that loud on electromechanical. Electromechanical tone basically uses the same 3000 Hertz tone, but it speeds it up to make it sound mechanical. So yeah, that was the unboxing and the review of the System Sensor Spectre Alert Classic, first generation fixed candela, 1575. Bye guys, I'm gonna have a special system test using this alarm. By the way, these things are not made anymore, so one day they're gonna become very rare in the future. Unless more and more buildings have them removed, and someone somehow sells them on eBay more during that time. So yeah. Can't believe it's such an old piece of technology still doing its job, you know. So yeah.